Tourists that visit Almaty often ask the locals about some places where they could enjoy skiing. Its highest point is the Talgar Pass, which is 3,200 meters above the sea. Even breathing here feels different. My name is Agiri Musagajinova, and I'm inviting you on another culinary trip around the beautiful locations of Kazakhstan. After an active leisure time, it's great to have a tasty and hearty lunch. We have two national dishes that are perfect for this occasion: beef stuffed in a belly, Qimai, and fish stew, Balyq Kozhe. Both of these dishes are highly enjoyed in the east and west regions of Kazakhstan. Qimai is a very nutritious and hearty main dish. It is prepared using variety meats as well as the flesh. I would like to note that all dishes in Kazakh cuisine were mainly prepared from variety meats. The Kazakhs have always been thrifty. In addition to meat, they used byproducts. For example, intestines are rich in various enzymes, amino acids, and vitamins. And most importantly, they are great for health, which is why people used to make this dish. Qimai is an irreplaceable dish to gain strength before the long winter. Well, now let's start cooking it. Qimai is mostly made of beef. I'd like to point out that every region has its own recipes. For example, in the east, they used beef intestines, but in the west and north, they used mutton belly. I recommend to soak the mutton belly for about 1 or 2 hours in any fermented milk product. That way we ensure that all unwanted odors are eliminated. We're also going to need some vegetables. Here we have sweet peppers, carrots, onions, and potatoes. We will also add wild onion, which in Kazakh is called jusai. We add jusai because this ingredient has always been associated with the flavor of the Kazakh steppes. Cut the meat into small pieces. It's important to have small pieces, since it reduces the cooking time of the meat. This dish is mostly based on beef. Beef was usually prepped in the fall, while horse meat was prepped in winter. And summer was usually a good time to prep mutton. During my scientific expeditions to the eastern regions of Kazakhstan, I explored cooking traditions of the region and came across some interesting facts. Regarding this particular dish, I heard people say the word Qimaiman, which basically translates to "I don't want to stay away from you." People put very deep philosophical meaning to this dish, showing care for the elders and expressing love for their kin. Because this dish is very rich in vitamins, people thought that cooking it could help them take care of their relatives' health. For one serving of this dish, we use approximately 500 grams of meat. The meat is prepped now. Let's deal with the belly. As I said earlier, you can use either beef intestines or mutton belly for this dish. We don't need an entire belly, so I'm cutting out the unnecessary parts. To make it convenient to fix it on both ends. So, we've prepared the belly. And now, let's add salt and pepper on both sides. To marinate it nicely. Leave it to rest for about 15 minutes.
чтобы желудок немножко отлежался.
After that, we will stuff it with meat. Moving on to vegetables, we need to cut them to small pieces so that they would dissolve during cooking. Vegetables will transfer their flavor and juiciness. With the full transition of the Kazakh to sedentary lifestyle, they started to add vegetables to almost all traditional dishes. Peppers, potatoes, and onions were among the most popular choices. They also gave a certain flavor to the food. Moreover, in case the dish was made from variety meats, garlic and onions were irreplaceable ingredients. But I want to say that sweet pepper is very rich in vitamin C. It's very quickly digested by the body and is good for health. If you plan to prepare qimai to store it for later, I recommend avoiding sweet pepper. Use only onions and carrots. Now, let's mince the onions. You can use both red and white onions. You can also add more onions than other vegetables. It's up to you. Now all the ingredients are ready for the next stage. The meat and vegetables are cut into small pieces. Now it's time for the most exciting moment. We're going to stuff the belly. The belly is seasoned and marinated.
Наш желудок немножко подмариновался.
Put the meat inside it.
Вы, наверное, заметили, что
You may have noticed that I didn't season the vegetables before. There was no need, since I will do it now, right inside the belly. That way, it will blend even more nicely with the meat. Cooking the meat inside intestines or belly is a great method. It's extremely beneficial for health because the meat is cooked in its own juices. It will retain all the useful elements within and intensify the natural flavors of all the ingredients. We don't add any extra fat. Together with the veggies and the meat, our dish will be juicy and delicious as it is. Now, we've already stuffed a small portion inside the belly. Let's just season it with salt and pepper.
перчим. И
And mix it thoroughly.
тщательно перемешиваем.
Vegetables will transfer their juices and flavor. And the dish will taste divine. Now we've put everything, seasoned and mixed it. Leave them to rest for a little while. In the meantime, let's prepare the wild onion, which is traditionally called jusai. Adding a little bit of jusai is important, since its flavor makes all the difference. We can add jusai to the meat or use it in the gravy.
Вот, наша
Now, our dish is almost ready to go into the cauldron. Fix it properly from both ends to ensure that nothing falls off during cooking.
ничего не распалось. А будем мы закреплять.
I'm using simple toothpicks for that purpose. Our dish is ready to be sent to the cauldron for an hour and a half or even 2 hours. It's time to move on to the second dish of the day, fish stew called Balyq Kozhe.
Для приготовления блюда балык
For our next dish, Balyq Kozhe, we will use fish.
это щука.
The fish must be local, either pike, zander, carp, or trout. What is special about this dish is that it requires several kinds of fish. We will also add potatoes, onions, and finally dress it with ayran, national drink made from fermented milk. Now let's start cutting the fish. Here I have carp and trout. There's actually a stereotype that Kazakhs had never been great at fishing, but the inhabitants of the Caspian Sea, the Sirdarya and Yertis river areas have mostly been fishermen. A lot of traditional dishes of these regions were prepared from fish, and one of them is Balyq Kozhe, fish stew. The recipe of Balyq Kozhe involves a whole tradition, and it was passed on from generation to generation in every fisherman's family. After each successful fish catch, people cooked this dish and invited close friends for a meal. Our fish is prepped. Now we can add some salt and leave it for 15-20 minutes to rest.
Отлежалась. Только соль.
We don't need to add anything else for now.
Остальные
Once the
приправы
dish is ready, we can add other seasonings.
добавление, когда уже будет готов кузье. Ну, пока у нас
While we wait for the fish to get soaked, let's prepare our vegetables. Cut them into big chunks, potatoes as well. You can add fewer potatoes, it's up to you.
совсем немного, но это дело вкуса.
While I was chopping the vegetables, the fish absorbed the salt. The ingredients are ready to be put into the cauldron. All of this goes in. Now our first dish with beef stuffed into mutton belly is ready. We have boiled it, and now we will prepare the vegetable trivet. It's a great addition to this dish. It soaks up all the extra juices from the meat while also serving as a great basis for the gravy. Add some butter to the frying pan and fry the vegetables. But don't overcook them. They should have a slight crunch. Oregano will provide our dish with a unique smell and unforgettable taste. Now that our vegetables are browned off a bit, add the stuffed belly that we previously boiled. It needs 20-25 minutes to stay on top of this vegetable trivet. Our hearty lunch is ready. Please enjoy. When you put your soul into the cooking process, it always turns out to be delicious. Combined with a lively walk around these magnificent views, even improves the taste by double. As a famous song goes, only mountains can be better than mountains. Can't disagree with that. See you soon on Silkway TV.
На телеканале Silkway.